I think the other thing that's important is, I think in this industry, in this profession, we continue to see more multidisciplinary teams in terms of specialists working together. And I think this has important implications in terms of training engineers. So, while we need to continue to develop engineers that have the requisite core competencies, I think it's important that both as trainees and as professionals, they need to have access to resources. And so, a couple of things that SME does that I think supports these types of activities, perhaps in terms of both from a trainee or student perspective, as well as from an established professional perspective. Many of you have heard about the One Mind system that SME and partners implemented. At this point, we just turned over 1 million pages of an online library that's available to SME members or members of other societies who are partners in this enterprise. We certainly are proud of the program, in terms of long-standing program in terms of publications, and SME in the past year and a half has just now gone to ebooks, and so all new SME publications are coming out in electronic format as well. I think that's important in terms of global distribution and accessibility of these resources. SME is certainly proactive in terms of meetings, in terms of training and development, sponsoring and endorsing student sections in terms of student trainees. And one of the important aspects of continuing maintenance of professional competencies is continuous education. And we just initiated a new e-learning system that will, I believe, enhance the ability of professionals around the world who are SME members or not. There's a difference in pricing based on that, but accessible to anybody to have a continuous education for their needs and interests. I think that's all for now. I'll be happy to expand some discussions.
Thanks, John. And now to Antonio, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. First of all, I would like to give you, all of you, a welcome from Mr. Carrizales, Miguel Carrizales, who's our president for the Institute of Mining Engineers. And actually he's getting ready for the inauguration of the fair in a few minutes more. Well, so we are very pleased that for the first time this type of events happening within our convention, mining convention. As you probably know, the mining convention is one of the largest in South America. I would want to tire with numbers, but we are, as I mentioned, we are very pleased that you're here. And first of all, I would like to give you a very short profile of the offer. We call that means the education offer that we have in Peru. As Mario mentioned, we have finished a survey recently that about the mining education that comprise 3 parts. One is the survey of the offer. They made a study of all universities, the mining, geology, and metallurgy. They study, or they send questionnaires to find out about the capabilities in labs, libraries, classrooms. That was the infrastructure side. Then from the human resources, we make that survey on the lecturers, how many lecturers they have, full-time, part-time, what degrees these lecturers have. And then we made interviews to graduates to find out what were their feelings about their own universities. So that was the side of the offer. Then we interviewed the mining companies, key people that hire the professionals, and also we got the expectations, what they would need, and so on. And finally, there was a study of the gap. What's the gap between the offer and the demand? And I mean, this is a very short thing. We have on Thursday afternoon, we have a presentation of this study. You're all welcome to assist. It's in Chachani 3, it's the room next to us. And I would just say two things. No? On the contrary of what happened in Australia, in our case is we have too many students graduating from universities. We usually have 600 students graduating from mining, and the need is, Mario is getting have these figures better than us, but I think we need only 300 and so on. Yeah? But that is considering the expansion we will have in these next 5 years. These days, probably the need of engineers is in the range of 60 to 80. So we're producing 600. And of course, talking now about quality of these young engineers is not that what industry really needs. There are lack of many things now, especially in the national universities here, not in all, because I've seen a couple of friends from the National University, which is one of the largest and the best, but most of the provinces universities have very few labs. They have almost non-existent labs sometimes. And so the education is given basically in transmitting knowledge from books from the lectures to the students. So this is the students don't get what they need when they go to work. So that's one of the big problems we have. I think it's better to have more wood to work than less. I think in our case, what we really would like to hear from you is what type of help we can have from the other universities from mining countries like Australia, Canada, Chile, etc., no? Which are, and Europe in general, which are also mining traditional. For example, I went to study in Cardiff back in 74, 76, and now that university, so that mining department disappeared. It's not anymore. Now it's environmental. And then I went to do my MSc and PhD in Royal School of Mines. Now Royal School of Mines doesn't exist.
You're bad news, Antonio. Don't come to the US.
So I won't go back again to anywhere, so it looks like wherever I go they get close. Well, so that is strange, no? That in our case, as Mario said, we at this moment we have 22 mining faculties, but probably next month we only have 1 or 2 more. It's a moving target. We never know how many more we're going to get in a year. In geology, we have 9 faculties, and metallurgy 16. So, as I said, we have a lot of students, a lot of wood to work on. So that will be the message. Now, on the contrary, about the specialties that industry needs. For example, one of our major causes of fatal accidents. We have in the order of 100 fatal accidents per year, and 50% of that figure is caused by rock falls. So we need a lot of geotechnical training in the universities. There's a lot of efforts being done on that, but still we have that problem. Another problem we have is the water. As you probably know, water is the most difficult resource these days for mining. We're always fighting with agriculture, with the fishing. So we are really need to get our students, our professionals, very strong on matters like hydrology, hydrogeology, things that still we're lacking. Mine safety, of course, as I mentioned before. And on the other end, the metallurgy. The metallurgy side, we have a lot of problems with arsenic concentrate, for example. It's something that still go on and on. Half of the, or more, or close to the half of copper that produces Peru has problems with arsenic. And on the geology side, we likely, the boom of exploration is almost not gone, but still, and we have enough geologists. The problem we have with geology is the same as we have with mining and metallurgy. They are not well prepared as they come to the university. So what is the role of the Institute of Mines? Because I've been talking about the university so far. The Institute of Mines is a non-profit institution similar to SME. And our role is first to try to, level the students, level graduates so that they can go to industry and get employed. So we have several things. One of the things is one of these congresses, mining conventions, but then we have a bunch of things. We have, for example, every Thursday of the year, we have a technical session in our auditorium in Lima. We treat technical things. So this is 1 hour that any professor or any people from the mining industry go and present this. So usually those sessions are attended by 100, 150 people. And then after that we depart with the presentators, and it's something that, a way that the Institute of Mines have found to translate something about the knowledge. Other things are more punctual, and we have the web page where we have all the publications. Where all these Thursday sessions are in our web page, so anyone can pick it up. Recently we have joined the EduMine, probably all know. This is what you call distance education. I understand that SME is also opening a new distance education. So in that, what we've done is to hire a place in there, so all our members can log into the EduMine, and get all these courses by themselves, but free of any. By the time they want to get a certificate, then they have to pay, they themselves. So, as I mentioned, the Institute of Mines is trying to fill that gap, but as I mentioned, we have too many students, so I think it will be very interesting that most of the universities in Europe or US or Canada can see that we have this, what do you call, first, very good students, very good in maths, but not good in the mining. The mining part is what is lacking. So that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you very much, Antonio, and to all our speakers for their introductory comments. I think a clear message is summed up. At my own university, the university hierarchy has recently spent vast amounts of money with marketing consultants to come up with a new byline for the university. And you'll see that on some of our slides that my colleagues will use later. And that is never stand still. Now, they were very expensive words that the university got, 3 words for I hate to think how much. But those words sum up, I think, where we are today in terms of our industry and its needs for graduates, in terms of the education that we as educators need to provide in the future, and we as a society in terms of how we shape ourselves and move forward. So what I'd like to do now, out of what our 5 speakers have already covered, I see there are probably 3 main areas that I'd like to tease out a little further. They are firstly the whole issue of supply and demand, secondly the curriculum issue as to just what do we need to provide in the future, and thirdly the whole area of global attributes of mining engineers and global collaboration in how we address those needs. So we'll work within that framework, and then we'll open it up to all comers after that. So in the supply-demand area, we've heard, for example, Kevin's talked about an approach to look at associate degrees or diplomas for a second-tier level, for want of a better term, to address the need. We've heard from John, 21% just of retirement in the total workforce, and was at the majority by 2029 of the workforce once you look at all the other changes. So huge demand right across the board, of which the graduate engineers are a significant part. On the other hand, we've heard from Peru that they produce twice as many as the local industry needs. So can I put to our panel some further thoughts on where else can we find people to educate as mining engineers, or different strategies to bring other people into the mix to address some of the what is globally a significant demand issue? Who'd like to, John?